All right. Here we go. This is crazy. Yeah. If you ever wonder why I like this card in this deck, this is exactly why. So how big does this Nasus go to? That's 6, 9. Yeah. GG's. GG's. If you ever want to look for a counter for champion strength, there you go. Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today we got the new patch, and the very first deck that I want to try out on the new patch is gonna be Sundays. After Seraph got rotated, Sundays was really sad, so Riot gave it a couple buffs. Azir got buff, Nasus got buff, and then the other card that got buff is Glory Skull, which has actually been super underrated and feels so good in this deck. So today we're gonna give this a shot. You have two ways that you really want to level up your Sundays. Azir's always gonna level, there's no question about that. The other way that you get the last remaining sections is either you level up the Nasus or Renekton, or you actually calm down using your Rock Bear Shepherd, as you'll see in some of the games today. So let's jump right ahead to the games. Remember, if you liked our content, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOL videos every single day. And at the end of the video, after the games, we'll do a whole mulligan and in-depth breakdown of the deck. So if you want to know actually more details of my card choices and how I play the deck, just make sure that you stick around for that as well. Enjoy the games. In this matchup, we're going against Samira Tristana. It's a pretty good matchup for us, in my opinion. Castigate, Quicksand. We have a lot of good outs against their stuff. I'm down to play this hand like this, just because I see it's a pretty good blocker versus them as well. Okay, we get the Rock Shepherd, so even better. We can go Rock Hopper, Rock Shepherd. Sucks that we don't have a 1-drop, but that's fine. This is really good with the Desert Duel. Opponent also doesn't have a 1-drop, so I'll take that. Samira is a problem, I guess. That's not a Samira, so that's pretty good. We'll go here. You're gonna prevent the opponent from really being able to develop next turn. We can go Rock Bear Shepherd. Unfortunately, we drew that Nasus. I would have preferred to draw that with the Ambassador. Do we attack here?
Sometimes you're the fish. What a shame for you.
Probably, right? You probably have to just take that attack, right? I don't want the opponent to have that. Like, I want the opponent to spend mana on that equipment if they want to. It also gets me the trade with the Nasus. They can play the Owlcat. I'm down to block with the Rock Bear Shepherd if the opponent plays the Owlcat. We can play Ambassador and have the Owlcat, the Rock Bear Shepherd to block the Owlcat. Yeah, we can just play Ambassador. Okay, so we drew almost all our champions. That's kind of crazy. Okay, Pigeon. I'm still cool with this. Like, I will just block like this.
We've got things to do.
It's just making my Nasus bigger and bigger, which I think is a mistake that the opponent's doing. Right? So we can go Rock Hopper, go Azir. We can go Rock Hopper, go Azir. We have another big blocker here. Opponent doesn't have a board. Azir's at 3-7, and our Nasus is getting bigger and bigger. And once that Nasus levels up, which we have a good way to level him up with Desert Duel, even if the opponent doesn't attack, the game is gonna be over.
Anyone seen any sheep around
okay.
Here? Last night.
Here we go here. We even have the Azir's Arise to be able to get blockers if we need to. Alright. I'm down to attack with everything. Again, if you want to block, you're just giving me free value. So the opponent really doesn't care about Nasus, right? Like, that's a big miss in my opinion. That's a big miss. We cannot kill Tristana though. I guess we can, right? We can Desert Duel the Grumpy Rock Bear. So we can Desert Duel to kill Tristana with the Grumpy Rock Bear. So maybe the play is first to do Ancient Prep. Ruthless Predator guarantees the level up on the Nasus. On the, yeah. So we'll have the Nasus, we have the Azir. And by the time the opponent attacks again, we should be okay. I'm kind of scared of Tristana, but opponent's really not playing into, like, against it. I'm also down to just pass. Okay, it's just another one. So maybe the Castigate would have been actually kind of nice. The Castigate maybe would have been nice then, right? We could get another Renekton right now. We could Desert Duel at this point. But I kind of like the Ruthless Predator next turn.
Come, we have an empire to build.
We can have double root. No, we can only have one Ruthless Predator. Let's pass. I still think we need to play around a Tristana potential. Or like a Samira. Opponent's gonna have a pretty big board, which kind of sucks for us, but it's not like impossible. I don't need to play this Golden Ambassador. Because we're already gonna get another Renekton. The Scout is super frustrating here, because again, he's giving the opponent a lot of units. But this is gonna be a pretty big hit with Nasus. Like, opponent has to, first of all, they have to block, right? Alright, and this is why we have the Desert Duel, right? So we're gonna attack like this. And then we Desert Duel after. Nasus is gonna level up. And we should be okay. And Nasus is gonna give everything -3 because we're gonna have level 2 Nasus, right? So the stun slows us down, but this is why the keeping the 3 mana was important. Okay. I guess the opponent could have Fervor, right? If opponent has Fervor, we get punished here. Doesn't have the Fervor, so we get the movie.
Life and death in
I can't play around Fervor because we don't have a better target, right? We go here, and we get the Nasus and the Seer movie at once. And we have another Nasus, by the way, in our hand now. Meaning that we have access to a Strike. This is a 2019 Nasus. This is a pretty big Nasus. Poor Renekton, though, doesn't join the fun. Can we actually level up Renekton? I guess we can, right? With the Ruthless Predator. I'm down to level up Renekton. We can go Ruthless Predator and Siphoning Strike. So we can go Ruthless Predator and Siphoning Strike to actually level him up. That kind of seems cool. I want to see the full movie. I want to see the third one. Come on. Let me, opponent. Let me do it. We can also just do it with Ruthless Predator by itself, right? If the opponent's attacking like this.
no more biding time.
I'm a little bit concerned, right? I'm a little bit concerned
We'll find our prey.
that the opponent could have access to a Might here. That deals 1 more damage in this side. Let me get the movie. Why not Scout Attack? I guess the Scout Attack doesn't matter because you're gonna lose the unit anyways to the blocker Nasus. So Fervor. Okay, so they had the Fervor last turn. If they have a second Fervor, they get there. We don't have a Rider Negation. We got to see the movie at least. We got to see Renekton finally level. If the opponent has the answer, they have the answer. I can't do anything about it. Here we go. See, Renekton is good in this deck. We don't have the Rider Negation to stop a second Fervor. So we don't have the Rider Negation to stop a second Fervor. I guess let's make them think that we do. We're keeping exactly 4 mana.
As with all Shurima.
1 card. One card. I actually like it, right? They get a second draw out of that, so they could technically still draw that Fervor to actually get them and win the game, right? So that's actually pretty smart from them. Let's go here. And there we go. We get the Renekton skill, we get the Seer, we get the Nasus. GG's. Their mistake, I think, was not using Fervor, right? If they had it in their hand to stop the Nasus level up. Unless they just top decked it after we actually leveled up that Nasus with the Strike. So, yeah. in this matchup, we got against Teemo and Tristana. And this matchup is pretty bad for us, right? Aggro has always been very good against this style of Sundays type of decks. I do like this whole hand. I think, obviously, I do want to eventually get to my... I want to have like a Ruthless Predator or a Strike or a Quicksand to be able to deal with their attack. But this is not a bad start. We can go Ancient Prep. Alright, I guess we're going to have to go Doomkeeper. I want to go Doomkeeper next turn, right? So I want to wait. If opponent attacks for 2, I think 2 is okay. Okay, yeah, I think we take the 2. If the opponent's going to go like this, we'll just go Ancient Prep. There's our Quicksand. I think the Quicksand is actually necessary, so we're going to pick the Quicksand. We're going to go ahead and play the Rock Bear Shepherd. This way, when this triggers, it's going to really lower this down by 1, right? So usually you have 2 ways to get the Sun disenabled here. It's either a Seer plus this, another champion, or a Seer plus Rock Bear Shepherd getting you to that point. This is still going to be a pretty good attack by the opponent. I might have to... I guess I can block the Bell Ringer and just take the 4 here. That's a great draw. Like, this is amazing. Other option, we can play Renekton here. So we can play Renekton here. Because Renekton is a good blocker. Okay, opponent decides that they just want to chill. Do we ever care about the Grandfather Fade? I don't think so, right? We have the Castigate. Okay, so the opponent's just going to push as much damage as they can, right? Remember, we have this Castigate, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to play Renekton. And I'm going to let the opponent just develop a big board, right? I'm going to let the opponent develop a big board. And they will go ahead and kill their stuff. I'm down to attack. Do I want to attack with Renekton is the question. Like, I'm down to bait out the Hungry Alka block, because that's the only card that I cannot beat with the Castigate. Now, I guess we can pass. We have 3 blockers, so if opponent doesn't develop here, I think I'm chilling. We have Quicksand for the Tristana. Do we just still chill here? Like, how crazy is it to get greedy here? I think it's too greedy if I do it, right? I think it's too greedy if I do it, so I think I just go for it now. We get rid of the Spell Shield, and we still have Quicksand, and next time we can go Doomkeeper. This is really good, by the way, because if we get our Nasus from the Golden Ambassador, Nasus is about to level up. We still have 2 blockers. There's Tristana, and again, Tristana sucks, but that's why we wanted to have the Quicksand, right? To be able to deal with the Tristana. I'm just gonna have to worry about everything that the opponent's gonna summon with that Tristana. So we have Quicksand, and we also have the Doomkeeper. Ah, okay, well, that doesn't help us, right? The opponent actually put the Quicksand weapon on the Tristana, so that is a little bit more annoying. I guess let's go Doomkeeper. We're gonna go here, because the opponent's gonna go Might. What did I say? And then we just Quicksand. So obviously the opponent's just gonna go for the Might here. We have... There's one problem here. We really don't have a way to deal with this Tristana. Unless we get something from Glory's Call that gets me there. The other option is to actually go for the Ambassador. Opponent could just block this, I guess, with the Renekton. I hate this. I actually don't like this, man. This kind of sucks. This is a very awkward hand. I need to have another Quicksand to play around the second Might. I need to have another Quicksand to play around the second Might. Opponent can just if they have another Overwhelm, I'm kind of screwed, right? And eventually this Tristana is also going to be a problem. We get the Nasus. So Nasus is going to be pretty darn good, all things considered. I think we just dropped the Rock Hopper like this. If we can get this Nasus level up and chilling, the only thing that scares me is a second Might. So that's really the only thing that scares me here. Alright, so that's fine. Nasus will still level up if you let me.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, I think I'm still okay with that, right? I mean, Well, no, I'm not okay with that because I didn't realize that this. Oh, well, no, yeah, it doesn't matter, right? I guess we just go like this. We just go here. Nasus still levels up. So Nasus still levels up, and then we're looking for Glory's Call to give us an answer for that Tristana. So we're looking for the Glory's Call. The problem is that the opponent can also transfer the Overwhelm into the Tristana. So that's going to be a different problem altogether. So let's go here. This doesn't get me there. This doesn't get me there either. Actually, does it? Does it not get me there? It's going to force the opponent to block with Tristana, no? So this has +2, so this is going to be a 4. This has plus... Okay, so... This actually gets me there, technically. Right? If it's going to force the opponent to at least block with the Tristana. We can go again. We can go an Ambassador and have the Sun Disc enable. So we're going to guarantee to get the Azir. So we're guaranteed to get the Azir here. I think we get there, right? Because Nasus is gonna get leveled. Nasus is gonna go to level 3. So Nasus is gonna go to level 3, and we can get a copy of Nasus. Oh well, we would not be able to get a copy of Nasus actually. Oh no, we are. We have exactly 1 warp space. Yeah. So we go Azir. We get the movie. We get 2 Nasuses on the field because we picked the Shimmering. And again, this is why I like Glory's Call. I think it's super underrated now after the buff. So we get to see the movie, which usually you don't get to see it with Nasus. We have 2 options. I mean, we can also just go the Nasus spell to kill the Tristana, but I think we just force that Tristana to block, right? I think I prefer forcing the Tristana to block by playing the second copy of Nasus. Because what's happening is that the second copy of Nasus is gonna give everything minus, like it already gives. The second copy of Nasus is gonna leave the opponent with just a single blocker, right? No matter if the opponent has anything else. So there you go. We're Shimmering, we attack, we win the game. Opponent can only block with Tristana, and Tristana doesn't even kill my Nasus. A little bit scary, right? But again, combination of a couple things, right? Castigate is really good. Glory's Call is really good at getting us exactly what we need to be able to present lethal eventually. That Castigate, as you saw, was the reason why we were able to get the Nasus as big as it was, for him to actually be able to level up. And that's really the things that you're looking for. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Diana Aurelion Sol. So I'm guessing this is like a slow control aimbot type of deck. I mean, I can't expect anything else here that makes sense. Do they have a lot of followers? Will they have a lot of followers for Castigate to actually make sense? I don't know that they will. I don't want the Glory's Call this early. I think I wanna. Right Negation is not bad if we're assuming that it is a control deck. If we're assuming that it is a control deck, then Right Negation is actually great. Rock-based Shepherd is probably... Oh, wait, but... opponent probably has access to... Soul Harvest, right? Yeah, so Soul Harvest is gonna make me sad with the Rock-based Shepherd, but I guess we have to do what we have to do. We'll have to do what we have to do, right? I'm gonna open for 5, because if the opponent's gonna let me put aggression on them, then I'll take it. And they will play the Rock-based Shepherd. If the opponent has the Soul Harvest, they have the Soul Harvest. There's not much I can do about it. I'm passing here. I'm down to burn 3 mana. I'm down to burn 3 mana. I'm not in any rush. I'm not really in any rush to play this Soul Shepherd. If you have the Soul Harvest, you do it now. Diana, okay. There's no Biofeast. There's no Biofeast. There's no Biofeast that I need to worry about. There is no what do I have to worry about here is what I was trying to think. There's no Biofeast in standard. There's no Nocturne spell. Pale Cascade doesn't save it because he only goes to 3 HP. So we just get the free kill on the Diana. That's cool. We got a Forsaken Bakai. If you're gonna let me get at least some progress here. None of these are really good. Yeah, none of these are really nice for us. I'm gonna still assume that you have no pings. So I'm actually wanna make sure that we start killing things, because I do want board space, right? So I think I'm down to sacrifice this Forsaken Bakai. I kind of want this board space. A little bit unfortunate that, oh, it's just it's a Moon Dreamer. Okay, so yeah, so this is like an invoke deck. I cannot play this Azir until I can save it from Soul Harvest. And because Soul Harvest got buffed to now only needing 3 mana to kill a champion, it makes the Azir too vulnerable. The only downside here is that it's going to be really hard for us to level Renekton or Nasus in this matchup, where we're not going to get a lot of strikes in. That's why this Rockfish Shepherd is super important. Like, I think this Rockfish Shepherd is actually super important. I'm down to go Azir here. I'm down to go Azir just so that I can open and continue getting this Sundays even lower and lower. We have the Battle Negation for the Soul Harvest. Opponent's showing us that they don't have Soul Harvest though, right? So I don't know that I need to keep playing around it. I do want the board space, so I'm down to attack with everything. Obviously the opponent gets to heal a lot, that's fine. I just want the board space. I want the board space so I can do my Doomkeeper, and that will level up the Azir. And also, I guess we don't have enough for the Doomkeeper. That sucks. We could Desert Duel into the Golden Sisters, and that does give me enough to play the Doomkeeper afterwards. Opponent's gonna get Azul and Eclipse Dragon, right? Do we ever care about the elusive? Probably. We probably do need to deal with the elusive. Yeah, we probably do need to deal with the elusive, to be honest. So we go like this. That gives me the board space. Then we go Doomkeeper, and Azir gets leveled up. And now all we're waiting for is for this Rockbeard Shepherd to just get us value. We could predict here using the Ancient Prep. So Rockbeard Shepherd just needs to last a couple more turns and we should be okay to actually get the Sundays even without Nasus or Renekton leveled up. Glory Skull is not bad. Glory Skull is tempting. Very tempting. I'm down to bet that Rider Negation is gonna come in better though. I'm down to put a bet that the Rider Negation is gonna be more clutch than anything else. So here's gonna be Eclipse Dragon. So this is gonna be Eclipse Dragon, or maybe it's actually gonna be the 7 mana. Oh no, it's just Cygnus. Okay. Wow, good thing I dealt with the elusive earlier. So that is 7 damage. That is a lot of damage. Good thing I dealt with the elusive earlier. Tough situation here.
Keep your distance.
Tough situation here. This gets it to 2. This gets it to 1. And then the naturally just gonna trigger the Sundays. The tough situation here is that I'm down to 7 HP and opponent still has an elusive, right? Could have another Cygnus in their hand. We have to rely on the Restore Sundisk. We have double Rider Negation, like I mentioned. So that's not bad. Here we go. We get Renekton, we get Nasus. We get the Emperor's deck. Is that gonna be enough? I don't think I can beat one of the 10 cost units. That's a card. Well, that's a card. I don't think I can beat one of the 10 cost units from Azul. But now I can technically, I guess.
In the name of our Emperor, Azir!
Now I technically can. So even if the opponent has Azul and they get one of the 10 drop, I should be okay. We don't have another way to get rid of the spell shield, unfortunately. I'm in the same situation where I kind of want to get board space. I feel like I just want to get board space, right? Like, does it matter how I do this? Or am I giving them too much? Am I giving them too many answers? Because I want them to trade so I can get Nasus bigger and bigger. I might be giving them too many answers by doing this.
We protect our own.
Okay, you're gonna actually get my Nasus to the 10 that I needed? That's cool with me. So they're getting my Nasus to the 10 that I needed to be at. So all I need to worry about is this elusive attacks. I don't have quicksand. I don't have the quicksand. I do have the sandstorm. We have the Rider Negation here to beat a vengeance. Okay, I mean, killing a seer doesn't matter to me. We have another seer. If I don't even have to commit the Rider Negation, I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with this. What's your answer? Second sickness?
They tried to blind me with resplendence.
I need to watch out for the second sickness, right? So that's what I'm thinking that the opponent has. That the opponent's gonna have a second sickness here. So I need to just keep enough mana for Sandstorm. They don't have lethal because I can just, you know, they have to pull here. I guess they do have lethal if they do this, right? They have another Nightfall card. All right, so are they just gonna kill Diana? Are they just gonna kill Nasus, I mean?
I cannot turn back.
So that's it? Is that the whole play? Alright, that's the play. Alright. Ah, wait. Yeah, no, it's an exact copy. It's an exact copy. That's the play. I was like, what are they trying to do? I was very confused about what they were trying to do. So even if we summon another unit there, we always lost to that spell, right? Because we don't have a fast speed or a burst speed way to deal with the Diana, or we didn't have the quicksand. I was okay with them killing my Nasus. I'm surprised that they never played those two dragons, right? I kind of got baited by the fact that I knew they had the Eclipse and the Azol in their hand the whole time. So, GG's. In this match, we're going against Teemo Tristana. Casticate and Quicksand are the two things that make this matchup quite a bit better for us. I need to keep a Seer. I need to keep a Seer. Rock Shepherd and a Seer are good keeps. Might have to just drop this Soothsayer as a blocker so that I don't take too much damage early. I hate it, but I need blockers, right? Maybe I don't need to. The opponent does nothing here. I might be okay. Okay, yeah, let's play the Soothsayer. I need a blocker. I just need blockers, and this lets me get there. We'll go the Rock-based Shepherd. We'll go a Seer. I'm down to straight up play the Seer because every time I attack with a Seer on the next turn, it's gonna get this more and more, you know, further and further in. We don't have the Casticate. Oh, that kind of sucks. Opponent gets another Hungry Owlcat. If I get Casticate, maybe we actually supposed to thin out our deck. Maybe the play is actually to thin out the deck so that we can actually get the Casticate by going for the Golden Ambassador. Okay, never mind. If we get the Casticate just straight up, then we can actually go a Seer and have enough mana next turn for Casticate. If the opponent gets greedy. The Spell Shield is obviously the only annoying part. Alright, opponent lets me get the attack here with the Soothsayer, so that's cool. Just work on getting this Sundisk and a Seer leveled up. It's still a big attack, right? The fact that they have all these Hungry Owlcats is still a big deal. But we do have a lot of decent blockers. Another Hungry Owlcat? Okay. I need to get rid of the Hungry Owlcats. Everything else can die to Casticate. We're gonna have a pretty good blocker here. We can Golden Ambassador and have Quicksand. The Casticate is no longer good because the opponent has all these big chunkies. I guess if the opponent plays, I will block with a Seer.
On it and on 'em.
I will actually block with a seer. I think people disrespect that I'm not willing to block with it.
Not in
Let's play around. I'm still losing to the one thing I don't want to lose to is. Nah, let's block everything. We're blocking everything here. Let's get rid of every single hungry Owlcat. So let's get rid of every Owlcat because the Owlcats are the ones that make my life miserable. We still get a big Nasus now, right? Because the opponent gave us that chance. Still have access to Castigate if necessary. Still have access to Castigate. Can actually kill the Tristana with the Ruthless Predator before she can get a lot of value. Yeah, I don't care about the Buster Shot. I really don't care about the Buster Shot. Like, I knew this Azir was gonna die no matter what, right? Our idea here is like, hey, let's kill Tristana. Or do we just level up Nasus here? How crazy is it to just level up Nasus?
It's as though I never left a millennium ago.
How crazy is it to just level up Nasus here?
Curator.
Huh.
Capture the heroism of Bandle Gunners from a painting?
So, because again, we have the quicksand, so I don't really care about that Tristana. If we go here, can the opponent prevent this? Can the opponent prevent this? I don't think so, right? Or is it better to go after this one? Let's go after this one. The fact that she has 3 health is kind of tempting. We level up the Nasus, and then next we can Castigate if we need to. Or Quicksand. Ah, they have the Fervor. Okay, so they have the Fervor. That I was trying to think what they could have. So then the play should have been to just pull Tristana. I think I'm still okay. We still have access to the Quicksand. Or we could always just Castigate as well. Alright, well, we can't do that anymore. So it's gonna be Quicksand then. It's gonna be Quicksand. So we're gonna Quicksand. And I guess just Quicksand one of these two. I mean, I'll take the damage here. Yeah, I guess I'll go like this. So can't really do much there. Let's keep the Rattle Negation to play around a Buster Shot. Has the opponent played enough Region Allies to have Buster Shot enabled? They really have only played Ionia, right? They actually haven't played Ionia, Noxus, Bandle City. They haven't played anything else from any other region that should have the Buster Shot trigger. So if we just go a Seer here, we should be okay. Or are we going for the Golden Ambassador again?
Bask in the sunlight.
That's an amazing draw. So we can go here. Just level up the Nasus. And we have Rattle Negation. And we're gonna have a Seer leveled up after we summon the Sand Soldier. Alright, so I think we get there. I think we kind of get there. We can play a Seer. We can play the Seer. We have Spell Shield here. As long as we get this Sand Soldier in the field, it should be okay. I doubt that the opponent is playing something like Minimorph, because this is more like an aggro deck. We still have the Rattle Negation. Everything is gonna have -3 once we go Ascended. So once we go Ascended here, everything's gonna have -3, right? So
A new flock.
in order to do this, we should attack like this. Right? And yeah, that's pretty good. Sand Soldier gets leveled up. Sundisk gets triggered. Nasus gives everything -3. We should have put Nasus on the end, by the way. We should have put Nasus on the end. That's the only misplay that I did here. Aside from that, everything else is fine. If we had Nasus in the end, we actually win because the opponent has to trade with the other units. So the opponent... Oh, well, never mind. We win anyways. Nasus is 18. I forgot how much he gets. I forgot how much he gets once he levels up to ascend to level 3. Yeah, I forgot about that. But it should have been at the end anyways, right? Because opponent is forced to block Azir. Opponent is forced to block the Ambassador. So this way I got him +2. And there we go. Honestly, leveling of Nasus feels so good. It feels so good. To the point that I'm debating if the Renekton is even worth it. Because I haven't really seen Renekton leveled up just yet. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Dr. Shaka, who's playing Azir and Kayle. So this is going to be a Xolaani deck. This is going to be really good once the opponent gets to the Xolaani turn. So I think I actually keep the Casticate. Because we can kill Xolaani, right? Unless the opponent has a Router Negation. So this allows me to kill Xolaani and any other units that they might have on the field. Probably was correct to keep the Ruthless Predator there. So if I have played this deck before that Shekov is playing. You really want to have the Sand Soldiers down on the field early, right? So you need to have the Daias, the Emperor Daias, to really have like a crazy good effect. Kind of sucks a little bit that we don't have any early plays, right? Opponent's just gonna get value here, so this is already gonna get Kayle to 2. So this is already getting the Xolaani also gets buffed up from this, right? So we'll have to just take this damage. I mean, it's a fearsome, so we can't do anything about it. This is a little bit awkward. Yeah, this is a little bit awkward. I guess we can play Soothsayer and still have mana next turn for whatever. We can play Golden Ambassador and hopefully we start getting some nice value. Second Casticate, that's not bad. Alright, so he's just gonna go for damage. Cool. We'll play the Golden Ambassador. We get an Azir. Not really helping us out much here. It's not really helping us out much. Maybe we go for second Golden Ambassador. I don't know that the Azir is actually what we're looking for. I'm looking for Renekton or Nasus. Opponent's gonna get really quick to their Xolaani, but again, as long as I have this, I think I'm feeling a little bit confident. That's Renekton. Renekton is huge, right? We have a big Renekton that can actually kill this Azir next turn. The Sand Soldiers are actually making my Nasus bigger when we actually draw the Nasus. Kayle is annoying here, but not impossible to deal with. Opponent wants these units to die because, again, Xolaani, right? Why attack with Azir? Yeah, I was a little confused about that. Yeah, I'm gonna play Renekton. I'm not gonna let you just pass like that. I'm just straight up gonna play Renekton. Desert Duel? Okay, yeah, you can no longer attack here. Let's not take that much damage on the Renekton. Let's not take as much damage on the Renekton. Let's just go here. Ooh, Blessing of Target. Oh, it's just a Hush. And then Pale. And then yeah, I don't know what the opponent was going for. Kind of sucks though. I mean, it does slow me down. It does slow me down, right? It doesn't count as part of the level up. Probably just need to open attack, by the way, so that we don't have to deal with the Xolaani. And we can still Desert Duel. So we can still Desert Duel after we attack. But the Renekton is going to go to 2. The opponent has a good blocker here is the problem. Right, so the opponent has a good blocker here. I guess we can go Desert Duel first. And Desert Duel again on the Azir. And that gets us there. Or if the opponent does nothing else, we can just attack. No way, right? Do we just Desert Duel again? I like this Desert Duel again. Their Xolaani is not enabled yet. I like this Desert Duel a second time. We can play a Seer and play Forsaken Bakai, and we actually get the Ascendant level up. Okay. So if the opponent literally has no answer for this Azir, which the only thing I can think of is gonna be like, yeah, they had no answer. We got the Renekton level up, and we had just enough mana to play Azir that gets us to 10, attack, get the Sand Soldier, gets us to 11, and Forsaken Bakai gets us to 12, and we level up both champions. Although, actually, you probably play the Forsaken Bakai first, and then, I mean, it doesn't matter, because we can't get to level 3 no matter what, because we still gonna have 1. But that's usually the way that I would have done it. So GG, Shekov. In this matchup, we're gonna go against elites. I guess I do have Rider Negation and I do have Cast Decay. Okay, I was gonna say I have Rider Negation for the champion strength, and I do have Cast Decay to kill their followers, which is really good, right? I can probably just bait out the champion strength, and as soon as they do it, we just castigate and just kill the whole board. That's the reason why I really like this card, right? We have plenty of blockers here. We also have the attack token too, which is great because it means that we can play Rockhopper and opponent is not able to play Battlesmith. We also get a Rock Bear. Like, this is literally the best starting hand that I could have asked for. Because here we go Rockhopper, and now opponent is no longer allowed to play the Battlesmith. Right, so the opponent cannot play anything this turn. I guess they could play something and just eat up the Rolling Sands right now, and they go for it, which is fine. I'm down to take the trade here because obviously it buffs off our Nasus, so our Nasus is now going to be a 4, right? So that's one Slay. That's one thing I need to get better at. Sometimes I lose track of how many Slay triggers I have had. That's the Rider Negation as well, so as long as we can stop their board from getting too big, I think we should be in a good spot. And this is also going to be a nice 5/5 that we're going to get. There's the Battlesmith. We'll go ahead and just play the Rock Bear. I'm debating if it's better to play a Seer here. I'm just concerned, what about... I guess single combat is the only thing that scares me here. But I feel like with my hand, I want to actually try to get the Sand Soldiers if I can. It also helps me bring down the Sun Disc as well. Every one of we summon is putting this down by run. We can always go Soothsayer or we can go Doomkeeper now that we have 2 board space. A single combat is really scary though, right? Single combat means that we have lost the Azir, but I think it was correct to not play around it. Okay. So here we just go Doomkeeper. The opponent can kill this Shepherd with the Broadwind, right? Which is exactly what they're going for. Seer's about to be leveled up. We do have Rider Negation to stop like a single combat if we need to. But if the opponent makes the board space, we can just play Rockhopper. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But again, it's okay because remember, we have this card, right? So because we have this card, we're okay taking all these trades. Because we know that we can eventually just go Cast Decay and clear the whole board. We have a leveled up Azir and we also have a Grumpy Rock Bear. So that's pretty nice. And we're chilling. Now, it's actually probably better, by the way, to wait for them to go Champion Strength before we play a Castigate. Now we just need to get our other champions. This is the hard part, right? The Azir level up is the easy part of this deck. The Azir champion is the easy part. I want them to tap out of 9 before I tap out of the Castigate. So if they don't tap out of 9, I don't think I play the Ambassador. If they tap out of 9 here, then I can play the Ambassador and just chill. Look, so they have exactly 9, right? So they could play a Champion Strength, but again, if they play Champion Strength, I think they just lose the game. If they summon a unit, we can pull it. Alright. So let's go ahead with the Ambassador. We got our Nasus. We're gonna get another trade here, and this Nasus is gonna be pretty strong, right? So if we go like this, If we go like this, I guess the opponent could have access to... So the opponent could have access to form up, right? So I think we go here and just keep ourselves a blocker. And just take it easy. The good thing about Castigate as well, by the way, is that it's gonna get Nasus all the way to 10, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We have enough blockers here that the opponent is gonna be very unlikely to play. Alright. Here we go. This is crazy. Yeah. If you ever wonder why I like this card in this deck, this is exactly why. So how big does this Nasus go to? That's 6, 9. Yeah. GG's. GG's. If you ever wanted to look for a counter for champion strength, there you go.
Look upon our work.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed today's games. A lot of Tristana decks running around, fortunately, right? A lot of people trying to do the Bando Gunners. I say unfortunately because it makes it kind of boring if you get a lot of like the same decks in a video, if you're just going against the same deck over and over again. But surprisingly, I think I never really lost to that deck as I was playing this, right? Because you have so many good ways. That deck wants to kind of trade units back and forth. You're able to keep a pretty good board, and every time that they're trading units into you, it makes your Nasus bigger and bigger, allowing you to actually be able to just drop down the Nasus and just win the game on the spot once it levels up to level 3. It's actually ridiculous. And obviously we also have access to Castigate, where if you get into a sticky situation, you can just Castigate to kind of refresh the board. And this if you are tired of Tristana Bando Gunner decks, this actually might be a legit counter. Now, let's actually talk about this deck itself. I'm impressed. I mean, my record is still mixed because I'm still kind of learning. There was a couple of adjustments that I made. I'm still not sold if Renekton is a good call. Maybe triple Nasus is actually better. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm liking where this deck is feeling right now. And again, especially as a counter versus those like Tristana decks that kind of want to just swarm the board. And Castigate is just so good, as you can see in some of the games that we played today, like for example against that Elites player. Now, how does the deck feel? Well, the strategy with the deck is straightforward. Azir is probably the one champion you don't have to worry about. He's gonna level up naturally as the game goes on, but you need to still either have the Rockbird Shepherd stick around for a while to counter your Sundays, or have Renekton or Nasus, one of the two leveling up. Let's talk about the Rockbird Shepherd. This card, I think, is the most important card in this deck. Because again, it gives you the flexibility of not having to rely on your second champion to level up to actually get access to the Sundays. Which you do want to get access to the Sundays earlier rather than later, because the Sundays has a lot of very powerful cards that you can then use to kind of win the game. And he also kind of just draws you the champions once you actually get to countdown 0. So the Rockbird Shepherd, you always want to have the Rockbird Shepherd in your mulligan. We try to mulligan for him because he just provides you so much value, and even the free 5/5 that you get can be really used for presenting damage into the opponent. Then let's talk about Renekton and Nasus. The ways that you level up the champions is by drawing them with Golden Ambassador. Golden Ambassador is giving them +2/+2. As you saw, if Renekton is a 6/6, it's very easy to level him up, because all you need to do is attack with him once and then have like a Desert Duel attacking again and leveling him up. If you get a 2/2 into Nasus, it also makes Nasus easy to level up, because right away Nasus is already going to be a 5/5, and any other trade that the opponent has had with you throughout the game is going to easily get him to 10. Especially if you actually get a chance to play the Castigate in certain matchups, right? Because once you play the Castigate, it kills your own units and the opponent's units, so it's very easy to get that Nasus to like over 10, like very high up with a single Castigate. So that's kind of the way that you're looking to level up Renekton and Nasus. Either the Ruthless Predator and the Desert Duel help out with that, right? Ruthless Predator is really good. Not only does he get our Renekton to be 8 power, but it can get the Nasus those last 2 power damage that he needs. Like if you can play Nasus as an 8/8, you can still go ahead and play Ruthless Predator, and that will get him to a 10/10 to actually be able to level up, which is very, very nice. And Desert Duel, as you can see, obviously, is just so good. So that's why I do think that these 2 cards are important. The rest of the deck is just having a lot of units on the field so that you can actually stall out and kind of just jump block the opponent. So stuff like Doomkeeper, It counts as 2 towards Azir, Rock Copper as well. By Kayle lets us predict. Soothsayer is nice if you're going against something like PNC to play around the Aftershock. So like these cards are really nice at just chump blocking and kind of buying you time to actually get to your Ascended status, right? Same thing with the Ancient Preparation, can be really good at just stalling out. Quicksand is important, especially against stuff like Tristana or Elusives if you actually run into them. It's just really nice. It's also good against like Barrows Samira if the opponent actually plays that. Golden Ambassador is like another key card. Like these 2 cards are the cards that you want to see every time. You want to go Rock Bear Shepherd on 3, Golden Ambassador on 4, and most of the times it's going to set you a Rider Negation because you need to be able to survive and set up a really good, be able to survive and protect your champions against the opponent's removal. And then Castigate, I cannot speak enough about this card. This deck actually struggles when sometimes you have too many units on your field and you have to kind of play this game of like, okay, I need to keep my board clear. Castigate helps us with that while also messing up the opponent. And this is why I really, really like this card as well. Finally, Glory Skull. The cards that you can hit from the Emperor's deck are actually so good. So like if we look right here at the Emperor's deck, like all of the, like, first of all, the pool is not that big, right? Because Glory Skull only hits cards that are 9 and less, it cannot hit the Ascended Skull. So it hits everything else here. And the pool is only 8, and you get to manifest and choose from 3. That's actually so good because you have a good chance of always getting something that you need, right? Almost everything here is pretty good depending on the situation. If you find yourself in a tough spot and you need to get rid of the opponent's unit, you can play the Crumbling Sands. Sandstorm can be very good at kind of slowing down the opponent. Shimmering Image, duplicating anything, like even your champions, is amazing. Eternal Gladiator is like a free trade. Honestly, the worst one out of this is probably Emperor Prosperity, right? Because even the Emperor's Guard is good as a nice 2 mana 5/4 that also draws you 1. Golden Herald is amazing. Maybe the General Palace is also not as great, but like the one that you don't want to see is this one. Everything else here is such a good hit, and you can easily get Glory Skull down to 1 mana with this deck. Unless I get stuck with like 2 of these in my hand, I'm usually waiting until I get it down to 1 health, to 1 cost instead of health, and be able to actually play it as cheap as possible and get one of these cards. It's so good. Honestly, I wish that there was a way to get Ascended Skull though. Imagine if you could actually get this. But yeah, the Emperor's deck doesn't have as many cards as you might think. So it's very likely for you to get a very good hit when you actually are manifesting and actually get something that you need. And that's why I really like the Glory Skull and the buff to it. There is one card that I don't have in the deck that I think could potentially fit in this deck, especially as we play Renekton and Nasus, and that's gonna be Ascended Skull, right? Ooh. Not Ascended Skull. What's it called? What's it called? Where is it? Ascended Rise. Not Ascended Skull. Ascended Rise. Ascended Rise is something that I also consider, but I wouldn't play as more of a one-off, right? It kind of gets rid of the weakness where you're no longer relying as much on the Rock Bear Shepherd or having to actually level up one of these 2 champions. You can just do so by playing the Ascended Rise. The problem is that it is very vulnerable to the opponent removing your units, right? Or the opponent just having their own deny. So just be a little bit careful about that if you want to include that. But if you wanted to include the Ascended Rise, it's actually very good in the mirror because you can just play this in turns when you have 10 mana. So when you have in turn 7 and have 3 bank mana, so you can play Ascended Rise and have Rider Negation as a backup, and it literally wins you the mirror on the spot. If you wanted to play that, I'd probably cut maybe 1 Doomkeeper or something like that. Actually, you could probably cut maybe one of the Desert Duels or Ruthless Predators, since you now have this to level up your champions instead of having to rely on the strikes. But anyways, the deck actually feels really good. And, the goal is to try to get the Ascended as soon as possible, because the level 3 Renekton or the level 3 Nasus are really just game winners on their own. Azir by himself is not all that, but if you can get one of these 2 guys to level 3, they just win you the game on the spot most of the times, more often than not. But the Emperor's deck can also take you out of some sticky situations if you need to. But yeah. Anyways, that's enough for me. Ended up being a longer video. That's why it's going to be late today on the YouTube channel. But hope you enjoyed today's games. If you did, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also follow us on Twitch at Twitter. We stream every now and then. And you can also follow us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy Sun Disc. And I'll see you all again tomorrow.